but that is up for debate, I guess. So then do we need a motion to?
Yes, so I was about to unmute myself. We do need, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna precurse it before I make the motion, is we're actually gonna vote live and see how this works. And the way that we're gonna vote is that when I make the motion and then I ask all those in favor, I want you to hit that reaction button, and our thumbs up reaction is a yes. Okay, so when I am asking if you are in favor, hit that reaction yes, and it will count as a vote. I do ask that you only vote if you are from the Midwest region, just to make sure that we're getting an accurate representation of those Midwesterners. So
sorry.
Yes,
I didn't
go ahead.
realize I was unmuted. Yeah, that's a really good question, Mariah. Thank you. That will probably not stand since Nationals is online, but I don't know with registration.
So I can speak to that for a minute. So the reason that it was turned into a scholarship this year is that I didn't need the money. And I decided I would rather have someone from the Midwest region go to it. And that's a power that the president has since it's allocated to them. So if national conference were to happen and it was completely free, which I don't know if it will be, that's something that can happen again to be allocated towards scholarship money. Because all the money we make, we do not profit off of it, we give it back to our region. Yeah. Is there, I'm going to open the floor really quick to any more questions that there are about the budget before I make a motion to vote. So is there any other questions that anybody would like to ask? Okay, so, so yes, you should be an AMTA member to vote, and we're using honor code in this instance because I can't individually check each and every one of you's AMTA status. But yes, please be honest, and if you are not an AMTA member, just refrain from voting. Okay, any other questions before we do the thing? Okay, so I make a motion to pass the proposed budget for the 2020-2021 year. I love how fast they come in. I got a second, so all of those in favor, please show so by giving me a thumbs up. And I'm gonna screenshot while we're doing this, just so that we have it for our records. Command Shift 3. Nice. Okay. That was definitely enough to pass. So I'm just gonna say this for formalities. All those opposed, show me so by giving me the clapping hands. Okay, abstentions don't show anything. And the motion passes. Good job, we passed something. We're working, we're getting through it. Awesome. Okay, so let's see, what's next up on our list? Okay, I wanna share my screen again to give you guys a reminder about something. So I'm gonna go to the next slide here. The reminder is about our fundraiser. So Jacob talked a little bit about our fundraiser and how well we did and the fact that we are actually taking pre-orders. But I want to remind you that after today it closes and we will not be taking pre-orders anymore. So if you want this fabulous merchandise, you can go ahead and use this QR code to get it right now. So I'm going to give you a few moments here on the screen so that you can make sure that you get it because you're going to want it. It's really awesome, I can promise you. Okay, just gonna like count to 10 and make sure everybody gets the QR code.
And while you're doing that, I'll say we are selling them separate now, where the first time we were selling it as a grab bag, each individual item can now be bought.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. Now I am going to, before we do our election officially and calculate the results, I'm gonna open the floor to questions. So this is a great time for you to ask questions that you have for the executive board, to ask questions about Maramtas in general. Anything that you feel that you want to know, this is a great time to ask about it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so are e-board meetings held virtually or in person? How often does the e-board meet? That is a fantastic question. So they are held virtually as an e-board meeting throughout the year. We have a meeting once a month, and that is written into our bylaws that we do that once a month. And we meet virtually, and then depending on the president, you may meet at national conference, and you definitely meet at regional conference. Let's see what kind of collaboration will we be having with the Great Lakes Conference for next year? That is a great question. I'm gonna pause on that question because when I leave to calculate the votes, Sydney's gonna talk to you and she's in charge of that. But yes, and if you did not know this, we are having a combined conference with Great Lakes Region next year, which is super exciting and I'm sure is gonna be a really, really cool opportunity for students and Passages. Okay, and then we have plans, Sydney, for 2020, 2021, and I'm gonna, again, pause that because she's going to tell you all about it while I'm gone. Are there any other questions that you would like to ask before I peace out? Why is it called Passages? That's a really good question. So, so Passages was created in the Northeastern region, and they are the ones that coined the name. They have a presentation about their passages and the founding of Passages and why it was called that. So I would encourage you, if you're interested in the history of that, to go to the resources provided by the Northeast region and even reach out to someone in that region if you want to know more information. I know that their current student president is all about talking about that and why Passages is called Passages and why it is the way it is. A great way to get in touch with someone like that is to reach out to an e-board member or the Maramtas Facebook or Instagram, because all presidents in the country are connected. So it'd be very easy for us to give you their contact information. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, I am going to mute and turn off my camera and go and calculate the votes and confirm them with Dr. Robertson and put them in our slideshow. And while I'm gone, Sydney's going to talk to you. So Sydney, you can have the floor.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, just let's acknowledge the presence of all of us on this Zoom call. In that, it wouldn't be possible if we had a bomb region who had an online conference, right? Because we're one of the few regions that are doing an online conference and we're still educating ourselves, we're still pushing. And although our one professional representative is not here anymore, I think Dr. Robertson popped off. Seriously, it's like amount of gratitude just to right now be on a Zoom call with people in the region. That is something above itself. Not to get over the elephant in the room, my plans for 2020, 2021 have shifted significantly due to COVID, right? I'm here to validate every single student experience. And being honest, national conference, navigating that will be tricky. And then on top of that, navigating a joint conference with a president that I really haven't met will be a new experience. But my plans have thus changed, and my plan currently is to create a community. I'm not going to overlook the situation. I was talking to my stepmom the other day, and she was like, yeah, everyone's affected by COVID. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm a student, and I feel like my whole world's crashing down. I feel like my experience has been completely invalidated, and that was me in the midst of kind of a mental breakdown. And so I hope that hasn't happened to you yet, but I'm here to validate each and every experience. My plans going forward will be to create a community, probably an online community. Pretty much a lot of the programs that I might implement will be there to serve students and access them in a proper way. And that unfortunately might not be meeting in person as much as we would like to at a region, as a region. I'd like to validate every single experience. If you're currently on this Zoom call and you're a freshman and your whole world got turned upside down because you thought you were going to school for music therapy and then you couldn't do a full second semester, stay in it, right? Retain your major, keep pushing, keep working. If you're a sophomore or a junior and you were like, man, I knew how these last 4 years were going to go and things kind of didn't go that way. If you're worried about practicum hours or practicum experiences or any of that, join our community. Join the community of the Midwest. If you're a grad student and you are a little unsure because you have all this background, but then emerging into a new field, join our community. Midwest is here for you. If you're an international student and you're dealing with kind of what is expected of you, maybe from your university and in your United States affairs, and then also having to deal with stuff at home, the Midwest is here to validate you. We're here to listen to you and give any kind of struggles that you might need. If you are an untraditional student and you're maybe older or younger than me right now, I'm here to validate you and know that your experience, as untraditional as it might be, and then plus all the untraditional stuff that happened in response to COVID-19, I'm here to validate you, and I'm here to create a community. Whatever that looks like, I will let everyone know. If you are a senior, if you're a senior and you didn't get to say goodbye to people, if you've been, I don't want to get into all the sentimental things, but if you feel like you're being erased, if you feel like you are not getting the accomplishments and the achievements that you might thought you were going to get 4 years ago, we believe in you. We're here to validate you, and the Midwest region is here to show you that you matter. Whenever you're going to walk, we will be there. Whenever you're going to celebrate all these achievements, you're going to be there. I understand as a young professional, all of us are kind of thinking, okay, we're going to be young little lasses in an economy that we don't know what's going to look like, right? We're going to be learning and growing together through telehealth when a lot of our practicum experiences don't really have telehealth involved. All of these new changes, we're going to navigate together. And so my plans for 2020 is to create that community. As cheesy as it is so cheesy, right? In hard times, you need your friends, you need your community. Truly, that's true. And so if you're going on to internship, if you think you might continue some sort of education for music therapy online, know that the Midwest region is here for you, that I am here for you. And truly, we're going to kind of navigate that together. As far as money, I know both Mariahs mentioned that. I love that there are two Mariahs and they think the exact same thing all the time. Yes, I do plan to donate that money to a scholarship. The way that Jordan did it in our process of the year was it obviously wasn't allotted in those budget approval, but then we made a motion in the middle of the year. And so once we know kind of how that works, I'm not looking to pocket money. I'm looking to give that back. And as far as regional conference, I'm excited to work with a different region. So the way planning works for Passages and student affairs will be cool because it'll be 2 boards. So theoretically 6 people. So more and more power to that. And I assume that'll be kind of navigating fundraisers and stuff like that. But that just means double trouble, more people involved, a lot of good things like that. And then I do want to continue Volunteer Day. I do want to continue acknowledging and validating those music therapy experiences through World Music Therapy Day. As far as the Board of Representatives, you'll be hearing, maybe towards the end Jordan will mention it, but I'll mention it right now just because we're kind of dealing with another fiscal year or a new year rotation for graduates or anything like that. If your school currently has a board representative or that sort of position, go ahead and fill out a form that I'll post on social media. And then in that Board of Representatives group chat, it's an application, but if your school has a process of electing someone or choosing someone, they can fill that out. And then if you are representing a school that might not have a previous board program, go ahead and fill out that application, and that goes directly to me, and we'll figure out those affairs. But I do intend to continue that. A lot of different other regions have the board meet in certain different ways, and if you noticed in our national conference, we had the board meet with us, and so I hope that is still a recurring thing, even if it is over Zoom, and then more board involvement that way. I don't know what else to say. Does anyone have any questions about anything? No? No? Does anyone have anything to celebrate?
Andrea, do you have a question? Andrea?
I'll unmute her. Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot we had